So it asks you to sketch the function from -2 to 4, and what you're going to use is you're going to use the table function in your calculator. You're going to put in the values, and you get your. I'm only going to do one of them here. You just do anything like what's it, 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x, and it says to start from -2. Oh, sorry. Yeah, done equals. No, I don't want g of x. Excuse me. Start at -2, and the 4. Do step of 1. Plot these graphs here. Everybody cool with that? You plot these numbers here in the graph. Now, when you draw the two of these out, you're looking for where is 2 of x bigger than 3 to the power of x. So, is everybody happy that it's this one here? The red one is 3 to the power of x, and the blue one is, so the green one is 2 to the power of x. You cool with that? Now, and what's the question asked you? Where is the... Is it not pretty much everywhere? So when's 2 to the power of x greater than? Alright. Here's the problem here. I'm actually going to have to zoom in here, haven't I? Because they pass each other out somewhere around here, don't they? It's a bad question. I'll explain why. Let's go back here for a second. Have a really good way doing it. See f of x equals 2 to the power of x. Do g of x equals 3 to the power of x. Okay? And we can see exactly where one of them overtakes the other one by doing this side-by-side comparison. I'm going to start at -10. I'm going to end at 10. I'm going to do a step of 1. Now look at this. Oh dear. let's go a bit further down here. Okay? They're equal. When are they equal to each other? 0. -1. Who's smaller than? G of x. G of x is smaller. For any negative value, g of x is smaller than f of x. For any negative value, 3 to the power of x will be smaller than. For any negative value. Is that what you're asked for, Phelan? When is 2 to the power of x bigger than? Any x value less than 0. Any negative value will cause 3 to the power of x to be smaller than 2 to the power of x. Think about it. What's 3 to the power of -1? A third. What's 2 to the power of -1? A half. Is a third smaller than a half? Yes, it is. So there's your answer. Any negative value, any x value less than 0. Unusual question. I actually couldn't use the graph to see that answer. So why did they ask me to draw it? I'll never know. Just here is when they're equal, and then the red will be below the green. Alright, let's have a look at your next question then. For what values is 2 of x smaller than 3 of x? Anything bigger than 0. Anything bigger than 0, it's very obvious to see that the red line is above the green line for any x value bigger than 0. Let's go back. For what value is 2 to the power of x equal to 3 to the power of x? X equals 0. For what values is a half to the power of x bigger than? Alright, let's think about this. Test some numbers. When are they equal to each other? When x equals 0, what will both answers be? 1. When x equals 1, what will both answers be? A half and a third. When x equals 2, what will both answers be? X equals 2. That's a 2 and that's a 2. A quarter and a ninth. What direction is the sign going in then? A quarter is bigger than a ninth. A half is bigger than a third. For any x value bigger than 0, a half to the power of x is bigger than a third to the power of x. Did they even ask questions on this part? Well, that was a waste of time. Alright. 5's done. Alrighty. Let me see. 9, please. 9. We're going to do 9 and 10. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, question 1. Draw the diagram for every 2 minutes, isn't it? So that's 1. You'll have the green points here. Okay. Everybody has this. So what's happening is your pulse rate, after you finish training, every minute your pulse rate drops. What is the pulse rate immediately after he finishes training? Well, immediately after you finish training is t equals 0. So the pulse rate would be 140. So immediately after finishing training, your pulse rate would be 140. For question 3, how long did it take his pulse rate to drop to 70 beats a minute? Well, you just go across with a line here, halfway between 60 and 80. You go straight across, and you hit it, and you go straight down. Did anybody get about 5.5 minutes for that? For 70 beats? So 5.5 minutes. What's the second pulse rate? 50, is it? 55. Alright, it's going to be hard for me to say where 55 is, but I could say that's 50, and then halfway between 50 and... Oh, does it? Yeah. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes, lads. Everybody cool with that? About 10 minutes for the second answer. To hit 55 minutes. And finally, what is the runner's normal pulse rate? Explain your answer. Alright, now this is really, I'll show you the trick here, okay? Did anybody else put this into the calculator? What is it again, Killian? 90 times?
90 times 3 by the power of 0.
3 to the power of 0.25x, yeah? Again, it got me. Alright, and then plus 50, is it? Now, here's what I do in a case like this. You'd imagine 100 minutes after training, your pulse rate would go back to normal. So I'm going to end it at 100 and go up in steps of, I don't know, 5. Okay? And look what happens. Ignore the second one. Sorry, give me a second. Ignore that. That should be 0. Alright, let's go again. 140 directly after training. After 15 minutes, you're at 51. What happens after a while, lads? What's happening here? Is it dropping below 50? Just not going to drop below 50. It's just going to keep getting closer to... Now, when it gets that large, it's so close to 50, they essentially treat it as 50. Now, how would you explain that in an equation sense? Well, look at this. You can say when this number gets bigger, what does 3 to the power of minus 0.25t mean? It means 1 over 3 to the power of 0.25t plus 50, okay? What happens when t gets really, really big? What happens when t is worth a couple of thousand? What will that mean? If that gets really big, this gets really big. And what's 90 divided by a really, 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 really big number? A really, really, really small number. That will be very close to 0. What's 0 plus 50? 50. Go with that? Alright. We're going to move on now. What did we do? 5 and 9, was it?